It seems that everybody and their grandmother seems to be coming up with a smartwatch these days. We've got the Gear 2 from Samsung, which actually I tried on my wrist the other day, and I have to say that it was a really good fit. I just wish Samsung would broaden their compatibility arsenal and make it compatible with non-Samsung devices, but what are you going to do? Another, oops, wrong direction. Let's see. I'll just do this. Sony also has a smartwatch, which is the Smartwatch 2, and I apologize if I'm making anybody dizzy, but I can't see well enough to actively switch between tabs without bothering my posture. We'll get into that some other day. But yes, Sony Smartwatch 2 is another option. I like the Sony best of all because it's the device that has the most compatibility aside from the obvious trademark of this era, which happens to be, or I'm sorry, trademark the obvious icon of the smartwatch, and that happens to be the Pebble. This case being the Pebble Steel. It's compatible with pretty much everything. There are some people that are coming up with new watches. The smartwatch from LG, which is known as the G Watch. It'll be very interesting to see where this one lies, because this one supposedly will not have the display turned off, so you can check the time at all times. The one thing I'm wondering about is how that's going to affect battery life. Now, the one rumor that seems to be kicking up more steam than any is the Apple iWatch. This is one of the latest concepts that I've seen for the iWatch. I think the iWatch is going to be very interesting, and I'll explain why. 2 words. Talking smartwatch. Until Apple comes on the scene, there will be no smartwatch with built-in accessibility on board. And I just think it'd be nice, because we, as people who are blind, have talking watches. It'd be nice to have some of the smartwatch functionality, for those that might want it, as an option. Leave it to Apple to do this. Now, why do I say that? Well, let's take a look at their track record. We've got the original iPod Touch. I'm sorry, the original iPod Touch, the 3rd generation iPod Touch. The Apple iPhone 3GS. Both of these devices were made accessible using the VoiceOver touch gesture-based screen reader. And ever since then, Apple's made a real commitment for accessibility. And that especially showed on the 1st generation iPad, when it was the first of a product line to be accessible out of the box, not wait till a later generation to do it. So I think that Apple's smartwatch, their iWatch, will be the world's first talking smartwatch, which I think that's going to be really, really cool to have another available mainstream product to be able to get without having to worry about accessible barriers. In general, how do I feel about the smartwatch fad? I don't know what else to call it, but I don't know if it's going to be a fad or if it's going to be here to stay. I think it's going to be here to stay. Otherwise, everybody and their grandmother wouldn't be coming up with one. But I love the idea behind a smartwatch because of the idea of being able to get a call, like say in an emergency situation, being able to take a call from somebody without having to fumble through your backpack or through a tight pocket, worrying that you might accidentally hang up on somebody because you may have accidentally tapped the hang up button in the rush to get your phone out of your pocket. In addition, things like the onboard pedometer to track, for those that like to take nice long walks, You know, just really nice little features. And I do think that the smartwatch is here to stay. And I do think that among all the smartwatches out there, the one that I'm looking forward to the most is, in fact, the iWatch. And a lot of people may be saying, well, the iWatch may be only compatible with the iPhone. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to user experience, if there's no other company in the world that I've seen that's consistent across all of its lineup, desktop, mobile, it has to be Apple. And that includes whether you have a disability and require special software or not. Uh, I'll give you an example. iOS and OS 10, if you utilize a lot of the keyboard commands in OS 10, if you hook up a keyboard to an iOS device, it'll be the same thing. VoiceOver translates perfectly beautifully over from the desktop to the mobile space. You hook up a keyboard, you get keyboard commands, and on your Mac you can use the touch gestures from the trackpad, the same ones that you'd do on the iPad. So I think if you want a consistent user experience, the one to look to in this case would be Apple. But as far as the smartwatch goes, what do you guys think? Do you think that Apple might be the first accessible smartwatch? Do you think smartwatches are a fad? Do you think they're a good idea, bad idea, etc., etc., etc.? What do you guys think? I'm actually very excited about the iWatch. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome and have a nice day.